Kyler Murray in Arizona. That's everybody just assumes it's going to happen because not only do they share an agent, but we know Kingsbury's loved Murray for a long time, and it's a fit for the offense he wants to bring to the NFL. Do you agree on all that front?
I do. I really do. I think so much of this conversation around quarterbacks every year comes down to fit. And sometimes there's just those unique situations where a coach and a player philosophically, their systems, everything fit. And I think Cliff is going to have a hard transition into the NFL in terms of pass protection, the run game. He's going to need a quarterback that can extend plays, that can create space, where they can have some college flair in the run game while they adapt to kind of a more hard-nosed NFL-style run game. So, yeah, I think that fits perfectly. And that's not an indictment on Josh Rosen. I think Josh Rosen's a starter in this league for many years. But, again, this conversation is always more about fit than it is talent. And that's the lie that the fan hears all the time, is that it's talent, 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 when really it's fit, fit, fit.
So, in terms of his talent, the fact, again, that I was at a combine this year for the first time, hearing how somebody who measures in at 5'10" and an eighth checks a box in a positive manner. Trent, do you have any concerns about him going to the next level at that height?
Rich, I don't have any easy answers. It's a huge conversation. It's one that needs to be talked about more. I did a couple things this fall during the season talking about how for years now we've seen at the grassroots level changing, what the modern quarterback looks like, what the modern quarterback throws like, what the modern quarterback's pedigree is like, what the modern offenses look like, and how that relates to how the modern quarterback can thrive. And what we've learned is that the position has become much less about power and stature and more about twitch and precision. And I can dive really deep into this, or we can just cover it at a surface level. But basically, your favorite quarterback growing up, my favorite quarterbacks growing up, it was about power and stature. It was how big and physical and powerful you were because you played in a scrum. You played in two-back sets. You played with an inline tight end. You played with a lot of reduced splits. Boxes were heavier, and you were throwing the ball 15, 20 yards down the field 15, 20 times a game. That was the position. Over the years, the position, the schemes, offense has changed. There's been more Saturday influence on Sunday football. Now the game's become boundary to boundary. It's become wider splits. It's become more spread out. It's become the ball of the hand faster. It's become more about decision-making pre-snap and right as the ball is snapped than deep into the snap. As that's happened, power and stature needs decrease and twitch and precision traits increase. So that is why a 5'10" and a half-ish quarterback that has unique twitch, who has unique processing skills, can check the box, because now evaluators finally, and we've been saying this for 6, 7, 8 years, are finally starting to say, wow, the game's changed. Maybe how we look at quarterback evaluation should change as well.
So if Keim would call you up, or Bidwell, or even Kingsbury calls you up and say, what should we do? What would you do if you are number one overall right now, like Arizona is going to be? Would you take Murray and send Rosen elsewhere, or would you do something else, since you obviously talked about the pass protection problems, and that gives credence to so many holes that Arizona needs to fill? What would you, Trent Dilfer, do?
I would take them. I think you don't have something like this fall in your lap very often. If you're Cliff, you kind of realize that. You're sitting in your office at 1 o'clock in the morning when everybody's gone home, and you're really being truthful with yourself, and you kind of know you're out over your skis a little bit in terms of offensive systems, but you do know you're kind of an innovator. You're one of the original behind-the-veil air raid guys. You also understand that there's more Saturday ball coming into Sunday than anybody else, but you need the guy that can kind of do that for you. And I think in the last 5 years, Kyler might be the only guy that can do that. He's slippery in the pocket. He has world-class twitch. He has incredible precision. He will single-handedly be Superman sometimes when everybody else is Clark Kent. And because of that reason, I don't see how you don't take him. And I think, Josh is going to have great trade value. He's very well received around the league. He's a pure passer. He fits other guys more than Kyler Murray does. It's not that one is better than the other. They just fit different systems, and Josh fits a lot of the systems in the NFL.
Well, that was going to be my next question, is as so many people are putting him in Jay Gruden's system in Washington, that's where his most likely spot can be. But then again, maybe the Giants do something. The Chargers are being mentioned. Even Patriots fans are hoping that they get him to be the guy after Brady. What do you think is the best fit for Josh Rosen, Trent?
Honestly, I think all those are pretty good fits. This is one of the few times where the narratives around this time of the year around a player are probably true. All of those are pretty good fits. I personally would like to see him in Washington. I think that with the circumstances they've had at quarterback, that makes a lot of sense. I think there's maybe a trade back there with Case Keenum. There's a lot of synergies in that deal. I think that's probably the most likely fit. I'm not behind the closed doors. I don't know what the trade conversations are like, and I have no idea what the established value for Josh is. But if you're the Washington Redskins, you're trying to compete in the division next year, then you need Josh Rosen.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.